Welcome back to Storytime, y'all. It's another session where I talk about my wacky days when I used to be a younger car guy. Okay, like if you're not in a gameplay or video game, just ignore what's going on in the background. Okay, you just ignore that because I'm here to teach y'all, or y'all may be in the same situation that I am or had before with, dealerships scamming people as usual, trying to get their money because they don't care as long as they sell the car off the lot. That's all that matters to them. But, anyways, I'm here to tell a story about back when I had my first car when it broke down and I was looking for another car because I got tired of that Ford Escort. One, it was slow, and two, it always was breaking down. Ford stand for found on the road dead. Let's see. I had the Ford Escort. I got tired of fixing the car, so I went to a dealership, right? I went to a dealership, and I'm into tuner cars, so I'm into like smaller cars, right? So, there was a neon I wanted at the dealership. It was like a 2002. Thank goodness I didn't get that car because I looked at the reviews and heard other people had experience with the 2002 Dodge Neon, and that car is trash. But I had a 2004 for people wondering. We say you had a Neon before. Yeah, I had a 2004. That was a better one than a '02. But anyways, I went to the dealership. I wanted the Neon. They said no, you don't. You can't. We can't finance you the Neon because I brought my paycheck stub and I was staying with my dad, so it was easier to get a car. But the only problem I had was I didn't have good enough credit because my dad co-signed for me for my first loan. I'll make a video for some people who don't know how to get their first car. They have a first time buyers program, credit unions or other car dealers. But for the most part, I had a little bit of credit, so I thought it was good enough to get a Neon. I had some money to put down, right? And I'm on you, I'm doing this at age 20, so you should start building your credit at an early age or something. But for the most part, I went to the dealership, right? I wanted to get the Neon. He said I couldn't get the Neon because I couldn't afford it. So what the dealer actually did, he showed me a car called a Cadillac Catera, right? So I'm like, a Cadillac. For one, I don't like mid-size sedans or big bodies, and I'm not really into Cadillacs, right? So, and oh, he tried to sell me on this Cadillac Catessa. I was like, no, I don't want it. They're like, we can finance it for you. I'm like, no, I have a bank that's willing to finance the car. No, why? I'm like, because I was kept it straightforward. No, because your interest rate might be higher and my bank interest rate will be lower. So what they have said, oh, come on, man, come on. So like, come on, what it takes to get you in this car. I really don't want this Cadillac Catessa. Okay, I want the 2002 Dodge Neon. So I told them my bank requirements for them to finance a car. I'm trying to work with them because a bank gives you a check, test drive the car. They said I couldn't qualify. So I kept trying to tell them my bank will finance it. But anyways, I told them the car had to be a 2000 model or younger, which was the 2002 Neon. The car had to be under 100,000 miles. That Neon had 60,000 miles on it. Um, yeah, and that's it. And it has to be in good condition and it has to be inspected. So what these clowns tried to do was to they said, "Oh, we can get this car financed through your bank." I'm like, "You can't do it because my bank, because it's a '97 Cadillac Catessa or something like that. You can't finance it." Like, no, 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 we can talk to it. Don't we? Oh, wait a minute, who's your bank? I told them my bank name. They said, I know the loan officer. We're just calling him Robert. Robert Harrison. I don't know. Just Robert Harrison. That might be an actual person or something. Anyways, we'll just call the bank loaner Robert, the head manager, Robert Harrison. So it's like, okay, yeah. I know Robert Harrison. You know what? Let me go in there and get Robert Harrison a call to see if we can work some things out, right? I'm like, I'm like, yeah, fine, go ahead. So they went inside to so-called call the bank, right? So they said, oh yeah. So we talked to Robert Harrison. Um, He said it's okay. You can go ahead and get the car, and everything's all good. So we can just sign these papers and take the information to the bank and don't even take it to the bank. Just have it fax it to us, and we'll be okay. I'm like, okay. So what they end up doing was they called the bank, right? And I'm thinking like, oh man, these these people are scamming. They're trying to sell me a car I don't want. And I asked one of the people at the dealer, I said, shouldn't I be able to test drive the car before y'all sign the papers? They looked at me like with a disgruntled look, right? So they're like, oh, okay. So they got the keys to the car, open the car, turn the ignition to the car cranks on. He said, oh, it sounds good, don't it? Yep. I'm like, yeah, it sounds good. Like, can I drive it off the lot? No, 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 no. You just said it sounds good. So they took the keys out of the car, got me out of the car, prepared some paperwork or something like that, right? So I'm like, man, these people are crazy. They trying to sell me a car. How they gonna sell me a car when I can't even test drive, right? It's crazy. So I told luckily there was a McDonald's across the street. So this I know it's petty, but I had to do what I had to do. So I told these guys that I gotta use the. I said I'm a bit hungry and I need to use the bathroom. I said well y'all preparing the paperwork. I'm finna go across the street to McDonald's to go to the bathroom and get like a cheeseburger and I'll be right back over here. They're like okay fine, we'll just come back over here and we'll finish the paperwork, right? So I went to McDonald's, right? I did have to go to the bathroom and I did get some food, but luckily but I was still in my dad. My dad's apartment was about, maybe a quarter of a mile away from the dealership. So I got there, went to the bathroom, got the food, and I just walked back home. so, so I got home, right? I didn't have a cell phone at the time. Um, yeah, I didn't have a cell. Well, I did have a cell phone. Just to remember, I did have a cell phone, but it was cut off. Cause I was going through hard times, man, trying to get my car up and running. But we didn't have like smartphones back then, people. Okay, because you couldn't like. I'm getting ahead of myself. So, anyways, I went back home. I called the bank because you had to look in yellow pages, which I think is irrelevant these days because you can just look up any business in a cell phone. But we didn't have smartphones back then. We had flip phones. The only function it had was to text and call people and receive voicemails. We didn't have all this internet stuff on it. But anyways, now I sound like I'm old. I'm not even that old. Anyways, so I called the bank and asked them to speak to Robert Harrison, right? So I asked Robert, so Robert, did you talk to this dealership? Because they said they talked to you already and they were like you were sending papers over, that you said it was okay for me to get that car. So Mr. Robert said, no, I didn't talk to him at all. Never heard of these people from the dealership. So I said, so the requirements there are the car has to be a year 2000. It has to be under 100,000 miles, right? And I have to test drive it, right? He's like, yeah, you have to do that. I said, okay, because the car they're trying to sell me is a 97. That's a no-go. The car had like over 100,000 miles. That was a no-go. And I didn't test drive the car. They just turned the car on, turned the ignition on, and try to get me to buy it. They're like, no. He's like, if I were you, I'd just stay away from that dealer. I'm like, yeah, okay, got it. I mean, I didn't have to tell my dad about it because it was pretty much obvious. So, I was pretty much kind of raised around cars and stuff. The thing about it, I mean, is I know about kind of know about cars. I know about cars, but the thing about it is I don't know how to, put like the major components back on there and stuff like brakes or something like that. Like I can change the oil, spark plug, air filter. I can do basic stuff. I know how like camshafts, how advanced timing, how to make more power to the car and how it performs and turbochargers, superchargers. But I don't know how to put them together. But and how to deal with dealers and stuff. Except for the time I made that video about me getting yo-yo scam. That was the first time that actually happened. I didn't know they actually went like that. But yeah, so I never dealt with a guy. So the moral of the story is if you're dealing with a bank and your credit union is going to like finance a car, I'm just letting you know, like these dudes was about to get ready to sell me the car like day one. Like you can go to a dealer and buy a car day one and drop out, right? But like, um, I'm sorry, y'all. A credit union, if you're involved with like a credit union or your bank is going to finance a car, this is going to take a while because actually what has to happen is it has to meet the requirements of the credit union. The credit union want to see how much they're offering and what features are on the car. So with the credit union, they're going to appraise the car what the actual value of the car is worth. So if your car have all these gadgets on there, it's going to raise the value of the car. But if it don't, it lowers the value of the car. So pretty much, if the credit union is going to appraise it, if it don't meet the requirements, your credit union is going to tell you they're asking too much for the car, or they're going to ask you they're asking, too low for the car. They congratulate you because you got a deal. But for the most part, credit unions will not finance a car more than it's worth if the credit union is not going to finance the car more than it's worth unless you're willing to pay the extra money to pay the difference that the credit union is willing to offer for the car. So either A, you're going to have to come out of pocket, pay more money than what the car is worth, or B, you're going to have to go back to the dealer and talk them down and say the credit union will not finance the car because they said it's too much. And me dealing with credit unions and buying cars, 9 times out of 10, if you tell them the bank says, hey, you're too much, normally the dealers are over by like 1,000 to maybe, not 1,000, not that's too outrageous. I said the most part, it depends the price range of the car, but for the most part, it'll be like 10% more what the car is worth, cause that's really the dealer's commission and price, the cut they get. So if you tell them they need to take it down or work something out with them, normally they'll comply by the credit union rules and stuff, and they're like, okay, they'll take it down. I dealt with stuff like that before. So, all right, guys, I'm out this video. If this is your first time on this channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Burn? I'm not edit that out. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Be sure to drop a like on this video and leave a comment what you thought on this video. If you're a newcomer, if you're a returner, I'm not letting that out of here. If you if you're a returner and you already subscribed to this channel, be sure to drop a like and leave a comment. Either way, if you watch this video, you better leave a comment. I'm just playing. Anyways, I'm out of this video. So yeah.